Did you see that post?
People are talking.
Here's what's trending on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, Rick's about the morning show. Hey, a lot of stuff going on now. A Georgia restaurant is gaining national attention for charging customers a fee for bad parenting. Now, the menu at the Riverside restaurant, which is about 2 hours north of Atlanta, offers a selection of dishes like steak, trout, and American fare. American fare. But when you look a little closer, you'll notice something else.
Yeah, Ricky. So at the bottom of the menu is an adult surcharge for customers who are unable to parent, followed by the money sign. The explanation reads, adult surcharge for adults unable to parent their kids. Now, according to some guests, the exact amount is apparently at the restaurant's discretion, with some saying they were charged $50.
Yeah, man. Several Google reviews said they were unhappy with the charge. One review reads, if you have children, absolutely avoid this place at all costs. Holy moly, they have the most disrespectful owner. He made a huge scene in front of the entire restaurant because our children were running through the restaurant. They were down by the river, and we were told we would need to go to Burger King or Walmart if they were and they were bad parents. Another reviewer claims that he was charged $50 even though his children were well behaved. The owner came out and told me he was adding $50 to my bill because of my children's behavior. My kids watched the tablet until the food arrived, ate their food, and my wife took them outside while I waited to pay the bill.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, the surcharge has since gone viral on Reddit. Some have criticized the restaurant, calling the fee discriminatory. The restaurant owner told the news he's had the parent surcharge on the menu since the pandemic, but he's never had to enforce it on any of his customers. He also wants to emphasize the charge is not for kids, but for adults who don't know how to parent. The owner also said a group would have to be really bad for the fee to be brought up at all. Now, a representative for the restaurant went on to say there's nothing wrong with kids and families coming to the restaurant. However, kids running wild through the dining room isn't parenting.
So is it wrong for restaurants to tax parents for their kids' behavior, or will it potentially help people parent their children better? Hit us up now, 866-9-RICKY. Maria, you have beautiful kids. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wouldn't take my kids to the restaurant, and the food would have to be really good. I mean, the food would have to be really good, and I definitely wouldn't take my kids there.
Rock.
No, absolutely. If my kids was getting out of hand at the restaurant, I'm going to pretend like I'm in church. First of all, I'm going to pull them outside and, get them straight, bring them back in. But I definitely wouldn't accept a $50 charge.
Yeah, special case.
My question is it even legal for him to do that? Can you add a $50 charge for something like that and legally force somebody to pay it if they refuse?
Especially if it's at your discretion, right?
Yeah.
Have some standards.
I don't see how you can do that.
Yeah.
Because I would just refuse to pay it and say, well, call the police. And I ain't paying this.
My opinion, leave your badass kids at home. Don't bring them to the restaurant because they don't know how to act.
Yeah.
And they be making too much noise, disturbing me while I'm trying to have my shrimp Alfredo. Don't bring them. I don't want to see your kids. They crying, they whining.
But though, Ricky, honestly, that's what happened with me growing up. That's one of the reasons why I go to the mall so much now, because my mom always says if you go in that restaurant and you act the damn fool, the next time you go back, you'll be grown. And that's why now I go because I'm grown, because we couldn't go because you don't act the fool in no restaurant.
Boy, what if they did that on flights? I'd be feeling bad for the parents. I'm just kidding. I was just kidding, by the way.
I'm not.
I feel bad for the parents on flights because the kids' ears be hurting and they be screaming and sometimes it ain't nothing that you could do about it if you got a 2-year-old. Because I got grandkids, so they'll when they 2, they're going through them terrible 2s. They'll cut the buck on you real.
And air travel affects different people differently, and you never know. And like you said, and the kids have all kind of things that make them cry.
Right.
That you don't have no control over.
Some airlines are actually testing out a new adults-only section. So if you're flying with kids, you're supposed to be put in the back of the plane. I think it's United is the one that's doing it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that ain't cool.
Why not?
I mean, that's a Rosa Parks case. That's a Rosa Parks. A kid gonna come sit up in the front and gonna be famous.
Okay.
Have a whole airplane. Boycott. All right. Get out of 866-9-RICKY. I want to know what y'all think. Good morning.
I don't think that's right because you got kids out here that has a disability. I have a nephew with autism. So if he's having a meltdown in a restaurant, of course the parent gonna do whatever they can to calm them down, but you can't control every child. So no, that's not right. Kids gonna act up. If you a parent, you get it. If you ain't, you don't.
All right. Speaking from experience, I don't think they're wrong because as a server, people let their kids throw the sugar on the floor. They be under the table, running around, talking to the other guests, interrupting their meals. So I don't think it's wrong. I think if you can't control your kids, you deserve to be taxed.
I went out. I had a white suit on. Kids was running all over the place. So I'm looking like, who children are these? One of them touched me. I almost lost it. So, yes, I do believe that he got every right to charge. They're not watching their kids run around and do whatever they want to do. Tax them up because they could tear the restaurant up.
I think that that's completely bogus because a baby can't communicate and you don't know what type of issues a child may have. They may have some type of sensory processing issue to what makes them act up in the restaurant. So I think that's insane.
Okay, so if you're now, I didn't get that part. Kids running around the restaurant throwing sugar on the floor. I didn't know kids was acting like that in restaurants. Now that's different. Now that's different now, Gary.
Yeah,
that's different. If you at a table you paying a lot of money for a nice meal, and you got a kid over there throwing sugar and being real disruptive. I don't know. Maybe they should have an adults only section in the restaurant as opposed to taxing them $50. Maybe, if you have kids, go to this area where they got a little slide or something in there. It's more kid friendly, where the parents can still have a nice, like the Disney cruise. You know what I'm saying? Where it's nice, but it's kid friendly, something like that.
When you have small kids, you should only take them to kid-friendly places. You shouldn't have small kids in a place like Houston's or Morton's or something like that because there's nothing there for them to, that it's not the right atmosphere for small kids.
So what if you have a kid that has Down syndrome or something?
I mean, it doesn't matter whether they have Down syndrome or anything else. If it's not an atmosphere conducive to small kids, why do you have them in there?
I was offended when me and Juicy went to TGI Fridays last week, and the waitress came over there and bought her some crayons. And I was really offended. I said, "This is a grown-ass woman." All right, thank y'all for your phone calls. 866-9 Rick. Appreciate that. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.